Imagine walking through a silent city, where the wind whistles through empty windows, doors hang ajar, and the echoes of a forgotten past seem to whisper secrets only the brave dare to hear. All around, remnants of a once thriving community stand frozen in time, rusted machinery, decaying furniture, fading murals on cracked walls. These are not just ruins. They are silent witnesses of human ambition, disaster, and sometimes, mystery. But what happened? Why did people abandon these places, leaving everything behind as if time simply stopped? This is the strange world of abandoned places, haunting relics that refuse to be erased. Across every continent, you will find cities, villages, and colossal structures left to the mercy of nature. Some were lost to economic collapse, others to war, environmental disaster, or even unexplained circumstances. Each has a unique story, often wrapped in layers of tragedy, resilience, and unanswered questions. Exploring them is like reading pages of history written not with ink, but with dust, rust, and silence. But are these places merely historical footnotes, or do they hold clues to something greater, secrets yet to be uncovered? Let's start our journey with one of the most famous ghost towns on the planet, Pripyat, Ukraine. This city was once home to over 50,000 people, thriving with schools, amusement parks, and bustling streets. But in 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster struck, forcing the entire population to flee within hours. Today, the Ferris wheel in the amusement park stands eerily still, never having been used. Personal belongings remain in homes, toys, shoes, photos, like snapshots frozen in an instant of panic and abandonment. What echoes linger in the silence of Pripyat? From the radioactive ruins of Pripyat, we cross oceans to Oshima Island in Japan. Known as Gunkanjima, or Battleship Island, this tiny landmass was once a thriving coal mining facility, packed with thousands of workers and their families. Its towering concrete buildings were a symbol of industrial prowess. Yet, when petroleum replaced coal, the island was abruptly abandoned in 1974. Today, the skeletal remains of apartment blocks loom over empty streets, while the sea relentlessly crashes against the forgotten walls. What does Tsushima whisper to the waves that carry its secrets? And then there's Centralia, Pennsylvania, in the United States, a town where fire literally burns beneath your feet. In 1962, a coal seam fire accidentally ignited and continues to burn to this very day, sending toxic smoke billowing through cracks in the ground. Streets are buckled, homes are swallowed by the earth, and only a handful of residents remain, refusing to leave despite government orders. How does a fire burn for over 60 years without being extinguished? What lessons does Centralia leave for a world dependent on finite resources? But not every abandoned place was born of disaster. Some were simply forgotten. Deep within the Cambodian jungle lies the majestic Angkor Wat. While it's a bustling tourist site today, for centuries, this colossal temple complex was consumed by the forest, hidden from the world. Its detailed carvings and vast stone structures tell stories of an empire's rise and fall. But how did such a powerful civilization vanish so completely that even its massive temples were overtaken by nature? What mysteries are still etched in its moss-covered stones? In the deserts of Namibia, the ghost town of Kalmanskap stands as a surreal testament to human ambition and impermanence. Built during a diamond rush, the town was once flush with wealth, luxury, and modern amenities far ahead of its time. But as diamond supplies dwindled, so did its prosperity. Now, sand invades every room, swallowing staircases and filling bathtubs. The contrast between grand architecture and the relentless desert is haunting. What does Kalmanskap teach us about the fleeting nature of fortune? Venturing to Italy, the medieval village of Krakow sits perched on a cliff, its empty stone houses staring down at the valleys below. Landslides, earthquakes, and war gradually drove its inhabitants away. By 1963, the last families were forced to evacuate. Today, the ghostly silence of Krakow is broken only by the whisper of the wind. It has become a backdrop for films, yet its real story remains more compelling than fiction. Is Krakow merely a casualty of nature, or does its abandonment hint at something deeper about humanity's fragile relationship with the earth? Further east, deep in the forests of Taiwan, lies the haunting Sanji UFO houses. Built in the 1970s, these futuristic, pod-shaped homes were intended to be a luxurious seaside resort for the wealthy. But construction was abruptly halted due to a series of mysterious accidents, financial troubles, and local superstitions. Some even claimed the land was cursed. Left to decay, the bizarre architecture became a playground for urban explorers before being demolished. Was it simply bad luck, or something more inexplicable? In the frigid expanse of Antarctica, an eerie reminder of Cold War ambitions sits abandoned, the ice station Vostok. Built by the Soviets in the 1950s, this remote research base once buzzed with scientific activity. But isolation, harsh conditions, and shifting political landscapes led to its eventual desertion. Today, snow and ice have entombed much of the facility. Who were the men and women who dared to live at the edge of the world? And what secrets of the earth did they uncover, or perhaps leave behind? Meanwhile, in the heart of China's Inner Mongolia, the eerie Kangbashi district tells a different story. Built to house over 1 million people, complete with skyscrapers, stadiums, and cultural centers, Kangbashi remains eerily empty. Despite modern infrastructure, it never attracted the population it was built for. Streets are devoid of life, buildings stand pristine yet silent. Is this a testament to failed urban planning, or does it represent a glimpse into a future where ambition outpaces need? Some abandoned places even flirt with the supernatural. Take the Island of the Dolls, near Mexico City. After the tragic death of a young girl, the island's sole caretaker began hanging dolls from trees to appease her spirit. Today, hundreds of decaying dolls with lifeless eyes stare blankly into the jungle. Some visitors claim to hear whispers or see the dolls move. Are these mere tricks of the mind, or does something darker inhabit this forgotten place? And then there's Bodie, California, a gold rush town frozen in time. Once bustling with miners, saloons, and outlaws, Bodie now stands preserved in a state of arrested decay. Walking its dusty streets feels like stepping into a time capsule. Personal items still sit where they were left, typewriters on desks, bottles on shelves, beds neatly made. What must it have felt like to simply walk away from a life built over decades? Does Bodhi quietly hold the memories of the souls who once thrived there? Chernobyl, Hiroshima, Centralia. Each of these places tells a different story, yet they share an unsettling common thread: the sudden and complete departure of life. Whether caused by human folly, economic collapse, natural disasters, or inexplicable mysteries, they force us to confront uncomfortable questions. Are we truly in control of the environments we create? Or are we merely temporary occupants in an ever-changing world far larger and more unpredictable than we dare to admit? Perhaps that's the true power of abandoned places. They reflect not only the fragility of our civilizations but also the resilience of nature. Slowly, vines reclaim concrete, sand erases footprints, and forests devour steel. These places become haunting reminders that time is the ultimate conqueror. What will remain of our cities, our monuments, and our lives when the sands of time inevitably shift once again? Will future generations stumble upon our ruins and wonder, who were they? And why did they disappear? As we conclude this journey, one thing becomes undeniable: abandoned places are far more than decaying structures. They are stories frozen in time, echoes of ambition, tragedy, mystery, and resilience. They force us to reflect on our own impermanence and the delicate balance between progress and preservation. So, the next time you pass by an empty house, a crumbling factory, or an overgrown path leading to nowhere, stop. Listen. Perhaps, if you're quiet enough, you might just hear the forgotten whispers of the past.